I was 23, fresh out of college with a useless degree in graphic design and a mountain of student loans. Living in a cramped studio apartment in Chicago, the kind where the radiator clanked like it was personally angry at me. Every morning, I'd drag myself to this dead-end job at a print shop, designing flyers for local pizza places and funeral homes. My boss, Mr. Harlan, was this short, bald guy who smelled like old coffee and disappointment. One Tuesday, the shop was slammed. I'd messed up a big order for a church event, wrong colors, bleeding ink on the edges. He called me into his tiny office that always felt too warm. He didn't even look up from his clipboard at first. Just sighed, heavy and theatrical. "Jake, I don't know what to tell you anymore. You're just not cut out for this. Some people have it, some people don't. You don't. Maybe go flip burgers or something. At least you won't ruin anyone else's Sunday service." It landed like a slap I didn't see coming. Not loud, not screaming, just flat, matter of fact, like he was stating the weather. I stood there, nodding like an idiot, mumbling something about fixing it. Inside, something cracked. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept replaying it on loop. You don't have it. Not cut out. By morning, I believed him. I called in sick, then quit 2 days later without another plan. What was the point? If the guy who saw my work every day thought I sucked, who was I kidding? I spent the next months bouncing between couch surfing and temp gigs that paid just enough for ramen and regret. My girlfriend at the time tried to hype me up, but her encouragement felt hollow. I'd already swallowed Harlan's sentence whole. It lived in my chest like a splinter I couldn't dig out. Friends started drifting. I stopped showing up to things. Why bother when I was the guy who didn't have it? 6 months later, I was working nights stocking shelves at a 24-hour Walmart on the south side. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead like angry bees. My hands were raw from cardboard, my back ached, but at least no one expected creativity from me. I told myself this was honest work, safe. One freezing December night around 2 a.m., this older lady came through my checkout lane. She looked tired, bundled in a worn coat, pushing a cart with diapers, formula, and a single loaf of bread. Her hands shook a little, counting out crumpled bills and coins. I rang her up quietly, trying not to make eye contact. Small talk felt pointless. She paused after I handed her the receipt. "Young man, you have kind eyes. The way you handled that fussy baby earlier for that mom, not many would have done that. You're good with people. Don't let this place steal that from you." I froze. It was such a small thing. Me bouncing a stranger's crying infant on my hip for 2 minutes while the mom searched for her card. I'd barely thought about it. But she said it so simply, like it was obvious. "Kind eyes, good with people." I laughed it off awkwardly, told her it was nothing. She smiled, eyes crinkling. Nothing is ever nothing. Words shape what we become, you know? Someone once told me I was too soft for this world. Took me years to unlearn that lie. Then she grabbed her bags and walked into the cold. Her words stuck with me the rest of my shift. Not in a dramatic movie way, just lingering. For the first time in months, Harlan's voice in my head felt a little quieter. Not gone, but quieter. I caught myself smiling at a coworker later. Stupid, right? One random compliment at 2 a.m. and suddenly I wasn't completely worthless. That lady, her name was Mrs. Elena, I learned later, started coming in regularly. Always late night, always polite. We'd chat a bit while I scanned her items. She was raising her grandkids after her daughter passed. Tough life, but she carried it with this steady warmth that made the store feel less soul-crushing. One night she asked what I really wanted to do. I shrugged, told her the design thing was a dead dream. Boss said I didn't have it. Probably right, she tilted her head. And you believed him, just like that? Honey, people say all kinds of things when they're tired or frustrated or scared themselves. Doesn't make it true. Your hands know how to make things. I saw that flyer you sketched on your break last week. It had heart. I hadn't shown it to anyone, just doodling during lunch. A silly poster idea for a community center event. Her noticing it hit different. Not praise for talent exactly, but for effort, for heart. After she left, I sat in my car in the parking lot, engine running to stay warm, and pulled out my old sketchbook. The pages felt foreign. My lines looked clumsy now, but something shifted. Harlan's sentence had been loud because I let it echo. Mrs. Elena's words were softer, but they landed in a different place. They made space. I started sketching again that week. Nothing serious, just for me, but the act felt rebellious. Like I was quietly arguing with my old boss in my head. Have you ever had one person's casual observation crack open a door you'd nailed shut? I was still at Walmart, but saving every extra dollar. Mrs. Elena kept showing up, sometimes with her grandkids in tow. The little boy, Marcus, was shy but lit up when I drew quick cartoons on the back of receipts for him. Stick figures fighting robots, dumb stuff. He'd laugh, and Mrs. Elena would watch with that knowing smile. One evening, she handed me a folded newspaper clipping. It was an ad for a free community art workshop downtown. They need volunteers who can help kids with posters and signs. You should go, not for a job, just to remember what your hands can do when no one's yelling at them. I almost said no. The old voice whispered I'd embarrass myself. But I went. The workshop was in a rundown rec center. Smelled like gym socks and hope. About 15 kids, ages 8 to 14, chaotic and loud. The organizer looked relieved when I offered to help. First session was messy. Kids arguing over markers, paint everywhere. I kept it simple, teaching them how to make bold letters that popped. One girl, quiet and serious, kept erasing her work. "It's ugly," she muttered. I crouched down. "Ugly is just the first try. Keep going. The good stuff hides underneath the mess." She looked at me like I'd spoken another language. Then she tried again. Her final piece wasn't perfect, but she beamed when she showed it to her mom. Driving home that night, windows down, city lights blurring, I felt something loosen in my chest. Words had convinced me I was broken. Other words, quieter ones, were reminding me I wasn't. Workshops became my thing. Twice a week after my shifts. I wasn't getting paid, but the kids started calling me Mr. Jake the Drawer. Marcus joined too sometimes. Mrs. Elena would sit in the back, knitting, watching. Harlan's words didn't vanish overnight. Some nights I'd still spiral, staring at a blank page, feeling like a fraud. But now there were counter voices. The girl who set her poster made her feel strong. Marcus, who told his class his friend Jake made the best robots. Small proofs stacking up against the old lie. One humid summer evening after a session, Mrs. Elena pulled me aside. "You know why I kept coming back to your lane at Walmart?" Not just the milk. I saw a young man carrying someone else's heavy words. I've carried a few myself. "You're too much. You'll never be enough." The right sentence at the wrong time can bury you. The right one at the right time, it can dig you out. I asked her who had said those things to her. She waved it off gently. Doesn't matter now. What matters is you're choosing different words for those kids and for yourself. That conversation lasted maybe 5 minutes, but it reframed everything. I wasn't just helping kids make posters. I was practicing rewriting the script I'd accepted about myself. Ever notice how one person's story can quietly rewrite parts of yours? The rec center offered me a part-time paid gig coordinating youth art programs. It wasn't glamorous, pay was modest, but it was mine. I started taking night classes in digital design again, this time without the pressure of having it or not. Just learning because I wanted to. I reached out to my old girlfriend. We'd stayed friendly. Told her what had been happening. She laughed, said she always knew I had more in me than shelf stocking. Took you long enough to hear it from someone else, huh? We didn't get back together, but her words added another layer. Validation from people who weren't obligated to give it hit harder. One afternoon, I ran into Mr. Harlan at a supply store. He looked older, same clipped tone when he recognized me. "Jake, still in the game?" I smiled, steady this time. "Yeah, different game. Turns out I do have something to offer." Took a while to believe it. He grunted, almost awkward. "Good for you." No apology, no deep moment. Just life moving on. But walking out of that store, I realized Harlan's sentence only had power because I'd given it a home. Mrs. Elena's, the kids, my own quieter experiments, they built a new one, stronger. Years later, I was running my own small freelance studio out of a shared co-working space. Not huge success, but steady clients. Local nonprofits, schools, community events. The kind of work that felt meaningful. I'd bring in the kids from the center sometimes for mini projects. Watching them light up when their designs got printed felt like medicine. Marcus was 12 now, taller, still shy, but confident with a pencil. He once told me, "Mr. Jake, when I grow up, I want to make things like you. Make people feel good when they see them." His words almost made me choke up in the moment. Full circle in the weirdest way. I started mentoring newer volunteers at the center too. One kid was struggling, ready to quit after a harsh critique from a teacher. I sat with him and said, "Criticism stings, but it doesn't get the final say. Your next line, your next try, that's what writes the story." He stayed, improved. Told me later it helped. Pauses for 4 seconds. Funny how the poison and the antidote can both come from the same place. Simple sentences we choose to carry. Elena passed away last winter, peacefully, surrounded by family. At her service, Marcus read a short piece he'd written. about how his grandma taught him that words could heal or hurt, and how one tired night at Walmart started a chain that changed his art friend Jake, and, by extension, him. I stood there in the back, suit feeling too tight, eyes stinging. Her simple kindness at 2 a.m. had rippled further than I ever imagined. Not because she was perfect or profound every time, just because she chose to speak life when she could have stayed silent. I spoke briefly too, didn't preach, just shared that a few honest sentences from her helped me stop believing I was defined by someone else's frustration. Helped me pick up the pencil again. Helped me see that what we say, to others, to kids, to ourselves, actually rearranges the furniture in people's minds. Afterward, several parents came up. One mom said her daughter still had the poster she made years ago hanging in her room. It reminds her she's creative even on bad days. I'm 30 now. Still in Chicago, still designing, still mentoring. Life isn't perfect. Clients flake, doubts creep in some nights. But the internal script is different. When the old voice tries to whisper, "You don't have it," I've got a chorus of other sentences ready. From Mrs. Elena, from the kids, from my own hands that kept showing up. The crazy part? It all started with two opposing moments. One man's careless dismissal that I let bury me. One woman's gentle observation that I slowly let grow. Words don't just describe our lives. They help build them, brick by invisible brick. The ones we hear, the ones we speak, the ones we choose to keep repeating. If you're carrying a heavy sentence someone laid on you years ago, maybe it's time to question who really gets to write the rest of your story. Because someone somewhere might say something tomorrow that changes everything. Or you might be the one who says it for them. What sentence are you still carrying? And what might happen if you set it down?